Lebanese Army General Elias Hanna joins me now live from Beirut. Welcome to the program. So Israel says it killed 3 Israeli hostages in Gaza by mistake. The army said it misidentified them as Hamas members. So Israel is now killing its own people by mistake. What does this indicate? Why is it happening?
It really reflects the chaotic situation, especially in Shuja'iyya. This is the second time there was like killing of hostages, trying to really, free these hostages. But the question is still, would you put the hostages at the front line by Hamas because they are considered as a high-value target for negotiation later? Maybe it's like luring the Israeli army to kill its own soldier, and for maybe political purposes, and maybe to oblige the Israeli army to change its, tactics and really trying to, free the hostages. It is something will put more pressure on the political level in Israel. Having in mind that this, situation in Al-Shuja'iyya, you take the other side as enemy until proven the opposite. It's not really, you have to really recognize that they are, Israeli hostages.
But why, Elias, is this happening? Is it, of course, you said it reflects the chaos, the chaotic situation, especially in Shuja'iyya, but is it recklessness, to use the word of President Biden this week, or is it a lack of precision and care on Israel's part?
Maybe it's a lack of intelligence that prior to this operation, the Israelis, they are obliged to go into Al-Shuja'iyya in order to really dismantle the brigade of Al-Shuja'iyya, put aside the influence of tunnels, and then really try to control what we call a clear and hold the northern part of Gaza for political purposes later. And here comes the problem in Al-Shuja'iyya, Karim al-Zaytun, and Jabalia. And we are maybe really starting to see something like military operation behind the line of communication of the Israelis, maybe in Jahr al-Dik, for instance, maybe in Beit Lahia. So this is the situation. We have to introduce now what we call 3 tracks of the Israeli war. The first track, the brutal war that we are seeing today. The second track is what Jack Sullivan tried to shift the military operation into what we call from hick to lick, from high-intensity conflict to low-intensity conflict. And then the third track is the negotiation that is starting to take shape in the European, between the Qataris and David Barnea of the Mossad. So having all of these tracks, what really influences the situation post-conflict is what's going to happen on the ground. The tactical level that really influences the strategic level. And here comes the Al-Shuja'iyya, the killing of the hostages, Elias, and all of that. It is like minor issues within the strategic level.
Let's talk about that a bit more, exactly on the ground. Help us understand, what exactly does Israel control or occupy at this point? Because the Israeli army said last month that it had seized control of the northern part of Gaza, but that's, as you say, and we've heard Nizar saying that's where so much fighting continues, especially in Shuja'iyya, as you're saying, and Jabalia. That's where the army admitted that 10 soldiers were killed, 10 Israeli soldiers were killed this week.
There is a big difference between fighting in open areas where you can maneuver, where the upper hand is for the Israelis, and and fighting in the urban area where you have no element of surprise. You are not really conscious of the situation and the geography. The element of surprise is for Hamas's fighters, and the consciousness of the situation when you know your place, your home court advantage is for Hamas's, and then you cannot really maneuver within an urban area. So maneuvering in urban area, you cannot really maneuver with heavy tanks like 40 to 50 tons. And moreover, you cannot really use the technological advantage for you and ask for, air support. Why? Because when you fight at a zero distance, you cannot really ask for firepower because you might kill your own soldiers. So maybe the upper hand in this الشجاعية or in Jabalia or in حي الزيتون, جحر الديك, and maybe in Khan Yunis later, it's the advantage for the defender. Sometimes the ratio between in a conventional warfare, the ratio between attacker and defender is like 3 attacker for 1 defender. But in the urban warfare, it might go to a ratio 1 to 10. So it is, you know what I mean. So, and for the Israelis, Hamas can really measure the success. 150 tanks, 150, 15 soldiers, 20 soldiers. But for Israelis, they cannot really measure the success. How much they have killed of Hamas. Does the Shaja'iyya brigade is downgraded? So far, no, they're still fighting. So this,
Elias,
this anxiousness
question,
about how to measure,
How to measure what they control, how to measure their success. 70 days in, what exactly does Israel control? And would you say even at this point to take out Hamas, as was their intended goal, mission impossible?
It's not about occupying a certain surface area, Maria. It's, you have to clear and you have to hold. And there is like 3 triangle, like clear and hold and rebuild. I mean, they are trying to clear, but they are not really able to hold. And they are not really rebuilding because they are destroying all of Gaza Strip.
So they can't hold, Elias, just to be clear, Elias, they can clear, but they can't hold
They cannot
territory.
hold.
Why?
Yeah, they cannot hold hermetically, I mean. Well, I mean, because the situation is not in their favor. They are fighting in an enemy area, an enemy ambiance, you know what I mean? I mean, you may clear like 100 meters, all of a sudden you have like a tunnel shaft where you have fighters of Hamas really trying to fire at you. This has happened in Juhr al-Dik, in the middle of Gaza, and happens in Eretz, and happens everywhere. So we are seeing a lot of videos that they are really, the Hamas's fighters, they are really videoing or picturing, you know, at like 10 meters distance from the Israeli forces. So you cannot really clear and hold. And if you cannot really hold, you are in very bad situation psychologically. And here comes the killing of the 3 Israeli hostages.
Elias, just a quick yes or no answer. Is Israel losing its war on Gaza 70 days in?
Let me tell you something, the formula. Hamas wins if it doesn't lose. And Israel loses if it doesn't win. And we are in a very murky and mercurial situation today.
Elias, thank you so much. Elias Hanna speaking to us there, retired Lebanese Army General. Thank you.